You currently locked in to the coldest podcast in the land. It's your boy, B Jones, aka Bolo, and you know when I'm pulling up to the porch. I can't pull up without my dog.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Big Smitty, aka D Nice, and you heard Bolo just said, this is the porch. Welcome. What's going on, my guy, man? How you doing?
10 toes, blessed, highly favorite brother. You know, got a crazy another guest on the show, bro. We not stopping.
Now. We keep every single week, man. We bringing you some of the best stories, the best topics, and the best guests. You know what I mean? And we are super excited about this one. But first, Bolo, you came through blue without today. You got the blue hat to the back, the blue sweater, man. You came through. I will say, man, you got a good swag to you, a good style to you. Every single episode, brother. You come through with a different. You might do the fresh cut, no hat. You might do the fit to the front, fit to the back, sweater. You got a lot of different looks, Bolo.
Yes, it's a lot of you just don't know, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's good for another brother to give another brother some love. You know what I'm saying? You looking good over there too, my brother, with the double chain on, all black. You know, it's a beautiful day. You know, love it, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with showing my dog some love.
Yes, sir, man. God is good, man. God is good. Can't come to the porch without bringing that up, bringing God up for sure.
1,000%.
But like you said, man, we got a very special guest on the porch, and I can't leave my man waiting. He's a legend. I'm gonna speak it right now. He's a legend in the making. My guy, born in New Orleans, lived in Honduras. He's a member of Young Money. He's on tour with the GOAT, Lil Wayne, the one and only Allan Cubas. Welcome to the porch.
Appreciate y'all, man. It's love. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. How you doing, brother? You doing all right?
I'm blessed, man. I'm doing good. Just gearing up, ready to hit the road. I get on the 24th, so just been preparing, getting everything ready.
I know it. Man. That's an exciting time. That
tour life a little different, man. That tour life. Are you nervous? You excited? Talk to me about the emotions right now.
At first, I mean, of course I'm excited. I wasn't really nervous, but the closer you get, you start, man, hold up, man, I'm really about to be on there with Wayne. And it's different because I've done shows with him before where I opened up probably 45 minutes to an hour prior to him coming on, but now we're coming out during his set. So he's bringing us out. So it's better because we get the attention right on us, but you got to make sure you bring it because Wayne is, he expects a lot. Like out his artist, he wants you to go hard. So that's how I'm planning on coming.
I love that. I love that. That's cold,
too, man. And I can't wait to dive way more into that, learning more about the tour. But first, like we always do, we got to start off with our porch news. And I'm so excited to see what Bolo's going to bring to us today. So, my God, what do we have in porch news today?
Okay, family, get into this, porch family. So, a Moroccan soccer player, and I ain't going to even butcher his name, y'all, but he's a Moroccan soccer player, right? He started trending around the world last week after a story came out that his wife filed for divorce and wanted more than half of his property and fortune. So, little did she know, this soccer player put his entire fortune underneath his mother's name years ago. Smart fella. So by law, he doesn't have anything under his name, right? So word on the street is now that the wife will have to give up some of her fortune to him because technically she's the breadwinner. So this story is wild. Want to hear what y'all think? Obviously, it's a situation where the men came out on top when it comes to a divorce. So I guess what are we thinking right now? Like, is this a smart move by him? And are the women just hating?
I'm going to jump in real quick first, Al. I'm going to give my opinion. Crazy story. When I saw the story, man, I was like, what? Like a complete 180. Like on one end, she's thinking we're about to divorce. I'm about to get braided up, get half of everything he has. And then out of nowhere, boom, during the whole entire process, you find out that nothing's under his name. Like that's wild. I'm sure the emotion she's having is probably like, oh, I didn't mess up. But on his end, though, it's almost like from the beginning, he was planning for the worst. He was like, in the event my girl leaves me, I gotta protect myself and protect my fortunes. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's over before it started, though, when people think like that?
That's a good-ass question.
I don't think he necessarily may. He could have been thinking like that, but I know it's very common a lot of times in the Muslim tradition or a lot of my Arabic friends, a lot of times they would do things like that and put stuff in their mother's name. So he necessarily may not have been thinking for the worst. It just may have been the way he went about it.
That's a good. That's some good insight.
Absolutely.
It might have been part of the regular tradition or whatever of the culture of the family do it.
I'm not saying it may not be, but I've had some friends that have been Muslim that have put they stuff in their mama names before, like, so I don't know. What I do think is I did see is like it's hard for me to pin because we don't know the ins and outs of their relationship or what caused it. I was happy to see that he came out on top without having to give all that up. But at the same time, I don't know how true it is that, I saw what y'all saw where it says now since she's the breadwinner, she got to give a portion of her money to him. I don't know if that is true. That might be a little stretch, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you, Al.
He's wrong if he take anything.
He rich as hell. You know what I mean? So like,
come on, man.
Don't take her bread. Like, she already losing. Now you gonna take her bread? If you do that, he just being childish. Like, he just trying to prove a point. Like, all right, you want to take my bread? Okay, I'm gonna show you something. But
take your W and you got it.
Take, like, take it. But let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this though. Like, why do you think I'm not gonna genderize it and say men and women, but why do you think the other partner always deserves half or even more of what that person has when they separate? Why do you think that is?
Well, so I'll jump in first. First of all, I think there's different types of like agreements you can have with marriage where you may not necessarily you don't always get half. Like, there's different things you can do with your prenuptial agreement where you don't necessarily have to get half. But
no, I'm not talking about prenuptial agreement. I'm talking about
just standard wise.
Like husband, wife, they in a relationship, like she taking half or he taking half, he walking away with, whatever she built or whatever he built. Half of it.
I think the argument is that person helped you build that. And obviously that's case by case. Because, you might be a guy who already got the bread and then you found your woman, or you a woman who got your bread, then you found your dude or whatever. And it's like y'all divorced and now he or she is getting that half. It don't make sense. But if they was with you from the gutter, I'm saying from the beginning when you was on the flow, and you know what I'm saying, I can understand why, that partner would want to get half or why that would be the norm. So I think it's case by case, in my opinion.
That's what I think. I think it's case by case. And I think I think it really varies on the situation. Because one thing it does do is it assures that woman's stability in the sense of there are some women that probably, I don't want to say put their dreams on hold, but they might dedicate their whole life to holding the house down, to being having your children. And, it's a lot of women that sometimes put their dreams or certain things they had on hold to be the best woman. Then if this dude out here playing games, or we only always hear one side, if a dude's doing something, it may not be 100% right that this dude is going to leave now when he decides she done dedicated basically her whole life to holding this fort down, to being a mother, or to, having all your stuff straight. And now she's basically got to start over. So that could be one way to possibly look at it, I think.
That's real.
Hey, Allan dropping gems on the porch right now early. It's been 5 minutes. He's dropping gems already.
Look, I done seen some like, damn, it's down bad. There's no way they're gonna take all that from this dude. But then it's sometimes where I have seen a woman like this woman might have been an athlete, or she might have been a model and this and that. But she's like, I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna make sure everything's good around the house. I'm gonna give you that mental peace, that peace of mind. And then in that case, I don't necessarily. Half. That's probably a stretch, but I can see them.
Come on.
You feel me? So where they could be straight just to get back on their feet.
I feel you.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's what I think. That's just a way to maybe potentially look at it.
Oh, for sure. That's a great insight. That's a great point for sure.
Like when you hear stories about like people saying like, obviously, like, when people are like filthy rich and like the spouse is saying like, I need to continue to my massages. I still need, my $200,000, $300,000 allowance, every other month, like just stuff like that. I'm like, I know you have a lifestyle, but it's like, it's not my job to keep you living the same lifestyle. Like, it's up to you to, I'll give you some change and, get you going on your feet, but now it's up to you to figure it out from there. Though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Because like those perks was because you were with me. So we're not together.
That's what I'm saying.
Lose those perks. It's like a job too. Like, you might have a job right now and you got some great insurance. You know what I mean? The plan is amazing. The health insurance is fire. But if you leave that job for another job, you don't keep them benefits. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate. You don't want to go from like having everything to just back to the hood. So of course, I'm not saying that, but like, talk to us.
True. If you leave that job in that situation, you don't get those perks. But if you leave on something that was their behalf or it was some kind of mutual, you do get that little unemployment for a little bit till you get on your.
Ooh.
It just don't like. I agree that yeah, it depends what it is. It's not your right to have to maintain a massages and all that. But if you leave that job that you was there 5, 6 years, a lot of times you get a little bit of
We gotta
unemployment
take
until
care of
you
you.
go on the next phase.
That's
That's
real.
real. That is real. Damn.
I had a few family members on that one on unemployment, so I already know.
Oh man,
I love it,
that's
man.
hilarious.
I love it, man. Now, that's a good one. I'm definitely excited to hear from the Porch family to hear their opinions on this. But Bolo, I believe we have one more topic here on the Porch News. So tell us what we got.
Man, one crazy story Porch family throw at you. So a story came out about a man supposedly spending $170,000 on leg surgery to make him grow 5 inches. So the man says that since the surgery, he now gets more dates. Now I know people do a lot of enhancement, but I think this one is a little too far. So Porch family, we gotta ask you, is this too far?
Man, like, listen, y'all. Something, yes. Answer your question. Yeah, hell yes. This is too far, man. Like, that's some serious surgery. You know what I'm saying? Like,
surgery.
like, this is some real deal, top of the line stuff you doing just to grow. Like, come on, man. You gotta listen. I get it. You know, women typically like the taller man, 6'2", certain amount of weight, whatever. But listen, man, it ain't about the size of the height of the man. It's about the man himself. You gotta have that confidence. You gotta have that mouthpiece. You gotta know how to talk to the ladies and provide value in other ways. Like, just because you grew 5 inches, you still that same dude. You know what I mean?
Very true.
If the women thought you was a cornball at 5'5", they're gonna think you the same way at 5'10". So like, I don't understand the like. I think I don't know. I think it's doing.
He said he got more dates though. He
Man.
said he got more dates.
I don't know, bro.
Is the risk worth the reward though? Like that's the
big piece.
Long term, and that's the thing. Like I'm a big believer in people, doing what makes them happy, but you gotta love yourself. I think for who you are, and we're gonna see how it turns out. But that's a crazy surgery, probably. I mean, I can't even understand. That's crazy that we didn't got to that point where we can make dudes way taller.
We can make people taller. He about to have hella arthritis.
That's
about to be. He about to be fucked up, y'all, in the next couple years. It's about to be ugly for him. They gonna have to. But I'm like, damn, how the fuck? Like, if something goes wrong in the surgery, right? And they're like, damn, bro, we gotta take this shit out. We gotta make you 5'5" again. Like, that shit is about to be awful. Like, they literally about to make his ass short as fuck. Again.
Hey, you got me thinking now, bro. Like, let's say, he been on a whole bunch of dates supposedly, right? Let's say he get a new girl, they actually start dating, and then what you just said comes true. Like, for some reason, knock on wood, something comes up and like, hey man, like, we got to fix some went south. If we don't do this, like, if we don't take the extra bones or whatever out, it's gonna be an issue. So like you said, they go back in, they got to bring him back to his normal height, and he never told his girl that he had surgery in the first place. So now he come back in the house back to his regular height. Confused, like, what the hell?
She's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this?
Who the
fuck is Derek? This ain't Derek. Derek, I know 5'10", nigga. You can't even touch the doorknob, nigga.
Start flaming his ass.
No, for real. But at the same time, though, I always like to play devil's advocate. Like, we don't really never say nothing when these women be out here reconstructing every piece of their body, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot what the show was. Vagina lips, like all that. Like, everything's been getting worked on. So, I don't know.
I think Tom would tell if he don't have no major health problems and he goes on to live a great life and he goes and tells everybody, I done got more women, I got more attention, and then more dudes follow that, for all we know, another 10 years, that's going to be just as common as a BBL or something.
Facts. Like, that's a fact.
Who's doing that? So it's just like, time will really tell like how it plays out.
Hey, look, we all on the porch right now talking crazy. I might fuck around in about a year or two when I want to grow 3 inches.
Man, I can't go under nobody's knife, bro. That's one thing I ain't fucking
5'11" and a quarter. I might want to go ahead and get over that 6 foot hump. You know what I mean?
Another 4 inches probably. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna go under a nice shit, make me 6'5". Fuck it.
Start hooping.
Start just moving on motherfuckers. Looking, I need to be looking down on people. If I don't grow, I ain't trying to grow 2-3 inches to be going under the knife and be in pain. I'm trying to dunk on shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shit you ain't never did before.
Ease, though, just with the ease. I want my whole life to change.
Oh, it's easy.
Where
I love it, man. That's hilarious, man. Another good topic, Bolo. We appreciate you for bringing the Porch News, and so excited to hear from our Porch family. So if you're watching on Caffeine, if you're watching this clip on IG, if you're listening in, man, definitely leave a comment. We want to hear from y'all what y'all think about the surgery. But again, we told y'all we got a very special guest, and we want to learn more about his story. So, Allan, man, a question we love to just ask our guests when we start interviews is, who is Allan Cubas? How would you answer that?
Second generation, or I say first generation, that's born in New Orleans, Louisiana. At the same time, I think it's important that I put on for my Honduran heritage. I'm a person that believes in treating people right. I'm a big believer. I respect people, treat people right. I love music. I love sports. It's pretty much it, man. Like I believe in putting on, trying to put on for my community, man. Try to put on for the second generation Latino people from Louisiana as well. And just, with great power comes great responsibility. So God willing, and one day if I can be in a position to make my dreams come true, lead by example and just do more good things for people and just treat people right and stuff like that.
I love that, man. I love that, man. And you mentioned, your family and I think your dad specifically being from Honduras. And I know you actually lived there for a good part of your childhood.
Yeah. My mom actually is my mom was redneck white from Mississippi, like from the Delta, from Greenville, like as crazy. So the total opposite, you feel me? So she was always marched to the beat of a different drum. She came to Louisiana, met my father. And then I was born in New Orleans, but at real age, like a baby, I went to Honduras and I came back around 7.5. Gotcha. So I started school and stuff out there. I would always go back, and I was always probably more closer with my Hispanic family because the majority of them lived in Louisiana. Obviously, I was with my mama, but I was more so. Yeah, man, living out there just gave me different perspective. That's what I could say. Being around all these things, growing up in New Orleans, living in Mississippi, living in Honduras, 3 polar opposite places, different people. It's all just a part of who I am musically and as a person as well.
I love that. I love that. So talk to us a little bit more about like that transition. Like now that you're older now and like you kind of can see Honduras, Mississippi, New Orleans, like what was that biggest like difference and like that biggest cultural change, obviously going from, a different country, city to city. Totally different.
As a kid, I'm just going with the phases. Like you just going through everything normally, but older I get, I realized it was totally distinct. Like Honduras being a third world country, even though at the time, I'm having fun. Like I'm not looking at it as I'm poor, nothing, but like, I took showers in the pila, what they call it, where you dump in the water, different things like that. Then moving to New Orleans, which they would consider the hood, the area I stayed in, but like I'm coming from Honduras, so like I'm not looking at it. Come up, like everybody over here, like even in the hood, you still got a stove and hot water sometimes. It's like, and in Mississippi, keeping it real, I know it's probably getting better now, but like the racism was something for me. My dad was a little bit on the darker complexion. Just seeing how people sometimes would treat him certain places, that was different. Being around different family members, people thinking different ways, the people in the neighborhoods different. It was, but I think it just helped me grow, you know what I'm saying, and get comfortable being around different people and listening to different musics, seeing different perspectives. And, I wouldn't change it for nothing.
Damn.
Yeah, no, for real, man. And I appreciate the insight, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that, it's crazy because a lot of us, Porch family, I know myself, Bolo, we have our own unique stories, but I know a lot of people who grew up in tough situations or grew up in the hood and grew up without, but it's really comes down to perspective. Cause like you said, you're coming from Honduras where you're taking like showers. You call it, what's it called? A pila?
Oh, they call it la pila. Yeah.
La pila. You outside with it, like just pouring water. You know what I'm saying? So you go to the hood in New Orleans, you like, shit, this is a come on. This is cool. Like, we got a stove, we got a damn real shower, we got hot water. So it's really all perspective, man. I think that's a good point to make.
Good job. Probably my mama did a good job. I always never was no complainer. She made every situation fun. And I had brothers and sisters that was all like a year younger than me. She popped us out like that. So we was always playing. I remember New Orleans being real fun. Like, of course, I remember things like, I remember shootouts and stuff or like certain things about the school. But other than that, I remember having fun. I remember coming to New Orleans and remember like, what is this? Everywhere I go outside, I just hear bounce music. Like at that time, that's what it was. And it was all over in the streets and block parties. And I just thought New Orleans was super fun. And then from there going to Mississippi, that was, I remember my first time getting to Mississippi, we stayed in this, I remember like we stayed in this area. I remember there's buku dogs outside. And like, if you had a bike, that was your neighbor's bike too. Like everybody just shared their shit. Like, it was like that. So, I mean, it was just all different places. And then eventually I moved to St. Rose, Louisiana, once I got older around high school. And that was different as well. So all of these things were just learning process and just growing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. And let's talk about the music. And you brought it up, man, in New Orleans, bounce music. For our Porch family, and even for ourselves who are not from New Orleans,
Right.
explain to us exactly what bounce music is.
Oh, man, bounce music. Well, a lot of people like, I give Drake credit because he was one of the people that started to make it get to the commercial scene. And when he shot his videos like Kiki and all that, he made sure he came back to the city, to New Orleans. But it's something that's been in New Orleans primarily since like the 90s, DJ Jubilee and a lot of people that was coming to Josephine, Johnny. And man, I'm sure people heard Nice for What. That's kind of like a more commercial version. But if you hear bounce music, it's really the traditional like music in New Orleans. Still to right now, you go to the clubs in New Orleans, the majority of the clubs are playing bounce. The girls love to dance. They get everybody hype. It may not be always I don't want to say it's not the most lyrical content because the majority ain't, but some songs are. Like, that just depends on how you approach it. But a lot of it is just sample songs. Like, I'd probably say one of the biggest bounce songs in New Orleans was the Adele Rolling in the Deep. Because they made that like everywhere you went. There's a fire on it. They start mixing it up. And it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? So it became a whole culture, a movement. I don't know if y'all know Big Frida and different people that. So it's like bounce is big in New Orleans. I did think it was going to be one day like commercially big, but it's never really got to that point. I think the closest would be probably when Drake did Nice for What and Kiki, which was kind of, had a little bit of those elements to it.
Right. Got you, man.
Yeah, that's cool. So did bounce inspire you to start your career? Like, talk to us a little bit about like, how it all started for you. What gave you that inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, I love bounce, but I wouldn't say it's like, I was still real little. Like, I was listening to it and I always liked the melodies. The melodies that they would use were just crazy to me. I'd be intoxicated by the melodies. But growing up, I mean, I was inspired. I'll say the Hot Boys, Lil Wayne, the era really inspired me. You know what I'm saying? That was the first CDs as a kid. I was listening to like Lil Wayne, BG, Juvenile, all of them, and really what inspired me in the music. But a lot of people don't know is like people that went to school with me and stuff. I was a battle rapper first, so like totally opposite of what I'm doing now. I used to do like spoken word or battle rap with no beat, and I was inspired actually to start doing it myself was like the Smack DVDs from New York. And I remember Cassidy Battle Freeway. And I remember being young watching them rap battles. And I was like, man, it's so fire how they put these words together. I always liked to write. I would just write stories and different things. So I was like, man, I'm about to start trying to put these words together and rap. And I would just start doing that. And then from battle rapping, little by little, I would just get into more music. I would listen to all kind of music. I thought that I could do it, but then I was like, I didn't know if I could sing or not. I didn't grow up singing. I wasn't really in no music classes. Just always had a passion for it. I played basketball mostly really in school and stuff like that. And that was my first.
Real quick. Could you hoop for real though? Keep it real with the Porch. Was you a real hooper, Allan?
Yeah, I could still ball. We won about a year ago. We won a little YMCA Young Money Championship in Miami, man. But like for a regular person, yeah, I could still hoop. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-aware. I'm not on the level of no professional or college athlete.
Yeah, but you can hold your own though.
Yeah, I mean, yes, especially if you put me against other rappers or artists or singers, I'm gonna be one of the top dudes. I don't think a lot of dudes can check me.
So just for clarity, Allan, are you saying you're one of the greatest current hip-hop artist basketball players in the game right now?
Oh, greatest. I'm up there. I'll say top 10. I gotta see one. From what I've seen on these celebrity games, you know what I'm saying? I think so. I've seen some that could hoop.
Yeah, but it's a few that can hoop. Off top of the head, I think Quavo decent.
I seen. Oh, he's decent. I seen. You know what I'm saying? They can't really dribble how I dribble. I got a handle. Like I really can dribble. I was a guard. When I played, I'm not tall, but I'm not sure. I'm 6'1". You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but I seen Quavo could play. I seen Dirt got handles. I seen a couple of dudes that really could Good play, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Master P back in the day, shit. I mean, he done
He
it
was
all.
hooping.
Right,
He was hooping.
Hey, Master P
He
done.
made it
Hey,
to the league.
he done sold chips, shoes. He done
Everything.
played in the NBA, raps. He done
Got
did
body
it.
wash,
Shout out to
noodles.
Master P.
Yeah, seeing him in the Raptors jersey. I got the hookup. Like, this dude was doing everything.
I got the hookup. That's my
You
shit.
talk about a hustler. That's a fucking hustler, man.
That's
Shout
a
out to Master
hustler.
P, man. I love it.
But I definitely do my little one too. You know, I could I ain't gonna say the greatest yet because I don't know how everybody else play, but I could hold my own definitely. And definitely when it comes to dribbling the ball, yes.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay. We might have to prove this at some point in person. We might do a follow-up in-person episode where we on the basketball court with it, and we'll see what you
It's nothing. That's love it.
That's light. Okay, that's light. But let's get back to the music though, man. So you mentioned that you start off battle rapping. I gotta ask you this: do you remember your first actual battle rap moment?
Yeah, of course. I remember everybody. Man, so I went a whole summer one time when me and my homie went to Florida to Orlando for like a little trip with his people. I remember that whole trip I just was like, I was falling in love with all the Smack DVD stuff. So I was started off writing in a notebook, just writing buku raps. I was getting on my shit. Then when school started one year, I was like, but I'm gonna start rapping. A lot of people was like, man, you tripping? Don't do that, bro. Allan, you gonna embarrass yourself. But I always was like, nah. I mean, I was always well prepared. I started getting to a point where I would just rap in the mirror to make sure I would never like have words and stuff. The more I wrote, the more I would get better at freestyling because you just get better and better. And the first time I battled this dude named, it was in when I moved to St. Rose, which is like 15, 20 minutes away from New Orleans, kind of like a little small town, country town. And I was in St. Rose. My friend rode the bike. I was on the pigs. We went to Preston Hollow. It was like, oh, he coming to the hood to rap. I came over there. I rapped against this one dude. Everybody thought I was going to lose. And I won. And a lot of times I say that a lot of things are dependent on result, right? So like, who knows how it would have went if I'd have been totally embarrassed. But me getting this great big reaction and everybody going crazy and they record me, oh, the little white dude cold, bro. Like, I'm Spanish or whatever. They're like, oh, everybody was going crazy. That moment just instilled me with like confidence. So from there, next thing you know, I'm battling all the time in school at the Jamboree, at the like, man, it was big. Like I probably had a whole school watching my stuff. I was going to neighborhood to neighborhood. And I mean, I guess after the results, I was getting all these great results and I was winning. You know, eventually you have someone you got to learn to overcome adversity too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just doing that. But then I got to the point where it was just like stressful, man. I was like, damn, and now everybody want to battle me. Like I can't go nowhere without being able to rap. And then it's like, you got to win. And then there's other music came out. And I realized like, bro, I was getting so on this battle rap style. I couldn't even rap on beat and shit like that. Cause it was just a totally different style than what I'm doing now. You know, especially if you watch how battle rap was probably 9-10 years ago. It was it was different. It was so that was my first passion was doing that. Going to people, we was battling for money. My homies would put up the bread or whatever, we'll make it happen. With the bread in the center, we'll battle. But then from that, a lot of shit would come about it. Like sometimes dudes don't want to pay and this and that. It was just getting crazy.
Damn.
Getting hectic, yo.
They getting hectic out there in the hood, you know what I mean? Dudes thinking they won, they not listening to what the crowd done said and all
that. If a dude's crew's big enough and your crew's big enough, if he say he ain't lose and you say you ain't losing, sometimes it gets to like, some dudes like, man, I ain't lose, what you mean? It's like, so, but I went to Delgado Community College in New Orleans, and that's when we used to put us shit together, like make it really more organized. Like I was battling so much on the campus that like the bailiffs and the police is on campus will hold it down. They be like, oh, we about to orchestrate this. So they was really setting things up for me to go do it and like stuff like that with people rapping, and we would throw talent. Hard. Yeah, we was doing all kind of stuff. Like,
that's cool.
Battled in years. Like once I stopped, it was over. I remember I went to Honduras one trip with my daddy, and I was out there, and then that's when I was really listening to reggaeton and all that. And I was like, man, this shit's fire too. And I kind of got back into my roots, you know, and going to Honduras and listening to different stuff. And I was like, man, I'm gonna try to, you know, make music and make Spanish music and English music and just try to start singing and using melodies. And little by little, I got better.
That's hard.
That's a dope story, Bolo, man. I love just hearing that. The foundation of how, you know what I mean, how everything just got started, you know what I mean? That's fire.
That's real. The biggest thing for me when I think about battle rap, when I used to watch them, when I used to be in those little small video stores, you got your Serious Jones, your Murder Moogs, your Loaded Lux, Reed Dollars, like that used to be going ham. Like
That's the dudes I watched and came up. I love them dudes, man.
Those are my favorite battles, man.
Murder
Shit
Mook
was
might be the
crazy.
GOAT. I ain't gonna lie. He
Murder
might be the
Me,
GOAT
he
in this
is.
shit.
Murder
Yeah.
Mook is the GOAT.
He
Murder
the
Mook
GOAT.
is the
He
GOAT.
done went through everybody. I remember his first battle, he battled Loaded Lux, and Loaded Lux really got with him.
Ooh, he
Got with
did.
him.
He did.
But Mook was so young and just kept going. Then I remember he had the J Mills battle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Serious Jones battle was legendary though. They was going at it.
That battle was there. I think Mook got him, but I remember that crowd being so like, what made Serious Jones want to go into that hostile environment? I think they was in Harlem or something. Everybody hit him with the dot on his head, dot on his head, dot.
Hey, but listen,
Call up.
if you put all that stuff behind, like Serious Jones was saying some shit. He said something like, he said, "I chop up your grams, and I ain't talking about that hard butter. Your mom's mother. I said,
Your mom's mother."
Oh shit, Serious. So that shit was hard, man.
Serious was nice. His storytelling, it was ridiculous, man. I mean, it would never go past when Serious Jones.
That's funny.
When he did the gin at the Fight Club, I remember. Oh, that was bad, bro.
Man, that's some legends,
crazy.
man. You mentioned Reed Dollars, man. He had a legendary
battle.
Take
the 40 to the neck.
Ooh, he said, "This is my year, so listen here. I move like I'm switching the." He was going crazy.
He was going, and he would be so into it though.
Yeah, like, Bond's over bad. He said, "Two Berettas, I'm Rambo."
Yeah.
Legendary battles, battles, man. It's crazy to see how much it has, how much it's grown and evolved, and there's so much like props added to it and all types of stuff added to it now.
So much props, and it's different now, and it's grown. And I would say at first, you won't be bitter, but it's changed so much back in my day. No, but it's grown for the better, and I think more people are able to do it now. Like a lot of people that's really smart could just do it. Before it was almost something that was, I feel, it went hand in hand with almost the hood or something like that. Like you couldn't really just go there and be aggressive in nobody's face. It almost was different. Now it's set up to where you could just go in there and say anything or have
be going talking crazy.
Yeah, it was, like back in when you had T-Rex and Reed Dollars, all this shit was crazy, man.
Nah, it was really dangerous, like for real.
Yeah.
Like you might say some shit and afterwards they might be a shootout, a fight. It's more commercialized now where people are more protected.
It's saying some stuff, man. Like I'll be looking at like their wordplay these days and stuff, respect. Like it's crazy. It's definitely evolved. Like these dudes is on some, it's just different.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure, man. Listen, I love the rap battle as a fan. I don't know if I could do it, man, because I know we competing, but some of the shit they be saying is so disrespectful. It's like, damn.
That was me, man. I had to stop. I was getting into people, and I was like, I'm really a nice dude. I don't disrespect nobody. When it came to the battle, it's like, man, my competitiveness, especially if I knew who you were before the battle, that was the worst thing. Like, man, I'm about to learn everything about this dude, and I'm gonna take
I'm about to hurt your feelings.
And I had dudes that felt so played, and they just got to certain levels. But then I was like, man, why am I even doing this? This dude can't even come to school no more, this and that. But I've been on the other side where dudes was getting on my ass, so it's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Dudes done got on me too.
Yeah. Nah, it's always worse when you got the information on. I think Murder Mook said something like, he said, I know you were schoolboy. How do I know you were schoolboy? Because I did my homework on you. So when you got the homework on them, when you got the background, it can get serious. Because you might say some stuff that's really hurting them to the core. Somebody just lost their girl or something, and you start bringing that up. And
get
a little spicy.
Yeah, you could tell they were trying to like stay calm and cool, but you could tell in their face, like if you say something that really hit them, you can see a reaction, their eye twitch or something.
Yeah.
But I love it. We can talk about battle rap all day, man. But let's get back to you. Obviously, man, grew up, like you said, New Orleans. Your story, your grind, your path, went from battle rap to actually making music. Tell me, how did you become part of Young Money? Like, let's fast forward. Like, how did the grind get you to Young Money?
Man, just perseverance. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. because let me just start off and preface the statement with, I thank God and I'm blessed to be part of Young Money, but I'm very self-aware by any means. Am I on or to where I want to be? I'm signed to the greatest rapper of all time, and I'm from New Orleans, my favorite rapper. So to me, that's a blessing in itself. But there's still so much more work. If anything, I feel like as hard as I grinded to get to this position, it's probably going to take that amount of work, if not more, to take it to where I want to get. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In order to get to this position, it was a lot of work and a lot of, risk without necessarily knowing what the reward was going to be. It's just something that you feel. And if you don't feel like certain people just will never understand it. Like a lot of family members didn't get it, but I've always felt it like, man, I'm destined for greatness. This is going to happen. And a lot of nights of grinding, not wasting, spending money without getting nothing in return. It's just about your dream. And I mean, studio to studio, buying beats from people that I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna be on with this one. This producer big. I'm gonna spend this 2 bands on this, and like you might get 100 streams or something. Like this is all part of it. You feel me? Grinding for years. I didn't have like no crazy social media following because I wasn't technologically savvy. I didn't have no big dog investor that came. I was just grinding and being place to place. I ended up meeting the right people, and really it came from a dude that's named Petey. Dude from Uptown that's real cool with a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like Young Money. And he recognized my talent. I met him years back. It just goes to show you. That's what I try to tell people. Like, you never know who it's going to be or what's going to happen. I met him years back. It wasn't like he never busted no play in that moment. I just known him. And then about probably 5 years from the point that I met him, he just hit me up one day like, yo, I think that it'd be, I want to introduce you to Moolah, as they call it. You know what I'm saying? The tune, they want to, I think Tune was getting off of his pardon and stuff like that. He had got pardoned and all that stuff was going on, I remember. And he wanted to sign new artists. And he was like, you could be you could be a possibility. So from that point, I had to meet Mac at that time, you feel me? Met Mac first, rap for him, showed him my music. Then from there, it got to go through Tune. Tune got to make the final say. They showed him my music. He was fucking with it. Then from that point, meeting him, getting to know him as a person. The first time I met him in person, that same day, that same night, I met him early in the day, that same night, he came and gave me 3 records to get on right away. You feel me? So I remember that. I remember getting them beats, and that same night I went to work. Like I remember even Maggie, I'm like, but you ain't got to kill it the same day, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could take your time. I was like, hell no, I'm gonna kill this right now. Still 3 of my favorite songs. I mean, they're gonna come out one day. This shit is crazy. Like it's incredible songs. And then it was just a lot of work, man. A lot of you gotta have faith, a lot of prayer. I don't underestimate the power of prayer. I can't, I don't want to go like, everybody might not be too religious in this and that, but I can.
Good, do your thing, yeah.
I done said prayers sometimes in tough situations, and it's almost crazy how like, man, like you'll get an answer. And it wouldn't always be exactly what I wanted, but what I realized is God will always give me a small little answer that'll take me to the next step. Like, because I always was pretty much confident, I'm gonna do it, but then I'll be a liar to tell you, like, probably 2 years ago, it started getting to a point I was like, man, all right, man, I'm getting to 30, I'm this and that, like, I haven't gotten nothing. Am I tripping? Am I really, I believe I'm all this, but maybe my family, some of my friends that's telling me that I'm not gonna do this. Maybe, could it be that I'm tripping? Let me be self-aware. And I was like, nah, I'll say a prayer. And then that same week of following the prayer, something small that'll push me just to give me enough energy, like, oh man, this opportunity came up. It's gonna take me to then. Then I got to a point where I really told myself, I remember telling myself, you know what? It ain't about am I gonna make it. Every day I wake up and am blessed to have health and chase my dream, I made it. It's a perspective. So I said, every day I really made it. I'm gonna just control what I can control. Don't lie to myself. Don't cheat myself. Am I focusing on what I gotta do? Am I going to the studio? Am I taking this serious? And then I could be content with what happens. And once I started adopting that mindset, boom, got a call one day. Dude said, ooh, I want to introduce you to Tune. Met Mac. Mac showed myself the Tune, met Tune, and then from there we've been rocking ever since. And then it was almost surreal, man. It was almost surreal because I had a downward spiral of like certain negative events that started happening out of nowhere. And then I remember I stayed strong, man. I said a prayer. So God, hey, everything you do is for a reason. I'm gonna work hard. I ain't gonna break. Let me make sure I'm not lying to myself. Because a lot of people say they praying, but you ain't necessarily doing the work. You're not doing your part, It goes hand in hand. So that happened, and then it really got blessed to be put in this position, and now I'm trying to take it further, take it to the next level. That's what we're here for. So
wow. Man, he got me over here inspired. That's a testimony, man, for if you listening in. Because we all got different battles, different journeys, different things we go through. And I appreciate you for being open and honest, because it's times even with like, we've been doing this podcast for quite some time now, for some years, and we've grown a lot, but we still, like you said, we got a lot of room to grow to get to where we're trying to get to. There's days where I'm like, man, like, what are we missing? Like, are we going to ever get to that point of where I know we're capable of being that? or like, second guessing myself. Like, damn, am I
Right.
that good as a host? Am I? So
Yeah.
like you said, in those moments, you gotta just, get down on your knees and pray to God and talk to him. Tell him how you feeling. Be honest. I like when I pray, I like to be honest with God. I tell him straight up, hey, this is what it
Straight up.
is. This is how I'm
I do too.
feeling. You know what I mean? I trust you, but I am a little, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? A little
I be-
nervous right now.
And it's normal. Like sometimes I get out of it. I'm like, yeah, I shook it. But then they'll creep back. Like I would be a liar if I say sometimes like, all right, man, I'm here, but like I gotta take it to this next level. What am I doing wrong? How can I help them help me more? Which this year is gonna be big. Like, since I've been signed, I haven't dropped the most stuff, but I got shit. I got buku stuff on deck, music. So this year, I'm gonna let my actions speak instead of just saying it, but you're gonna see it.
Yeah, no, facts.
Once this tour comes and after this tour, a lot of stuff is going to be dropping in consequence, videos in Spanish and English. But I just tell everybody, embrace the grind. And I used to be in such a rush to like, man, I got to do it by this age. Nah, man, don't do that. Trust the process and give it all you got. It can happen in 6 months. It can happen in 10 years. You don't know. It's all on the Lord's time. You got to work. You got to grind. You got to believe. A lot of people want shortcuts. People don't. Everybody wants it. Like, I mean, most 70-80% of people in the world want to, would love to have all the fame or love to be signed to Wayne or love to have that. But not all of them are willing to put in the work. Some people want to take shortcuts. You want to get it all quick. You might not want to have 2 years where you just going to studio to studio, investing in this and like, man, you got to grind. I mean, you might have to get a job too, like while you do it. Like, until you know what I'm saying, you got to do different things. I always was like, whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it. But what made everything worthwhile, like, even if I was hustling or if I was working somewhere, like if I had to go I said, man, I'm going to do this because this money's going to help me do this. I always had that. And me having that mind just made everything fun. Because it's like, I'm chasing the goal. I'll tell everybody, make short-term goals. That'll keep you energized in whatever situation you're in. Because if not, then you get in routine. And I think that's what can get a lot of people when they start getting down on themselves, when you're using a routine without no certain goal. You just kind of like set, even if it's a short-term goal, be like, man, in 3 months, I want to achieve this, or I want to be here, or I'm going to make this money from this job that I'm going to end up putting into this dream I have. That's the things I think, man. I just try to keep bucking my head up to go forward.
That's real. That's real. Now, one thing I think is pretty cool, obviously, we know Lil Wayne is a GOAT, lyrical genius, right? So, when you're in the building now, I compare it to, if, I'm a hooper and I just joined LeBron James's team, right? It's like iron sharpens iron. So are they making you better as far as being in the same building when you're crafting the skill? Have you seen like your ability from where you were before signing with Young Money change since when you're currently with Young Money?
Yes. All right. Like before, I feel I always had it in me. That's what got me here. But Wayne just makes it to where you got to bring it out of you all the time. And like demands it. He's quick, he works hard, and he's a leader by example. That's what I tell everybody. Tune leads by example. Like, because I said it before, like, I don't know, you could break it down to any field, from a plumber to a technician to whatever. I don't know if there's a person in their specific field that works as hard as he does in his field, which is rap. He got everything that he could probably potentially want. He has all the accolades. He's widely regarded as the greatest of all time. And he still raps mostly every day, like as if his life depended on it. He's always rapping. You wouldn't understand, but you probably have heard like the stories. It's true, man. This dude got all these songs. He works this fast. He's working on songs constantly. I mean, I consider myself a good writer, and I'm like, oh, I'm dope. Sometimes he does stuff in there that you just like, how? Like, how? Like, I don't. He's that good. He's the real deal. And I learned that the reason he became that is because he puts the work in. You know what I'm saying? Wayne really puts the work in, and there'll be times I've seen him where he might listen to a beat and he don't bail himself out. Like, even if it's not going that way, the way for him, he's like, I'm gonna get through this. And that's the biggest thing. Of course, he gave me pointers on certain things, but the biggest thing, I just get to watch him do him, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring. He's everything I thought that he was before and more. You know what I'm saying? And then, we're both sports nerds. Like, I don't know if I met somebody that likes sports as much as I love sports till I met Wayne. Like, he loves his stuff and he knows his sports. Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, Wayne, that's how we were able to even meet in the first place and connect. I work at Fox Sports. It's like my main 9 to 5. Wayne is when he ain't rapping.
Yep.
Yeah, when he ain't rapping, he watching all the shows and all that, and that's
Fox
how
is
we
on
connected.
nonstop. When you go in there, like the rep, it's all, you know what I'm saying? He's always watching them. We be in there watching them and stuff like that. He's big into sports, and what I like about him, it's like he looks at it different. Like he's gave me perspectives at times and pointers that I'm like, man, I wasn't even thinking that. I wasn't even looking at it that way. So, you know, he's a brilliant mind, just overall, man. And the love he showed it, like just the fact he got us all going on tour with him right now and, you know, giving us this opportunity. So, you know, he's been blessed, and he's showing love and blessing others, from his family to his art to the people. So I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it gets surreal, bro. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm born in Charity.
Right.
Like, you know, I grew up listening to Wayne, and now I'm signed to Wayne. I try not to take that for granted because I've been cool with him so much. And I was like, man, it's fucking the GOAT right here, man.
Wayne.
We ain't got Drake. We ain't got Nicki if it ain't for Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
Say it.
A lot of the artists that's out right now, like someone could make the argument besides music that Lil Wayne may be one of the most 100 or 200 or whatever influential people of all time. If you look at the influence he's had in dress code and music, style, sound, the way people are, like in music, the way people are dressing. Him being one of the first dudes in a rap game to start skateboarding and stuff like that, and wearing the skinnies and a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's much more than rap. He influenced the culture in ways like no other. You know, I tell people, like, whether you want to argue he's the greatest rapper or not, I believe he is. You definitely can't argue the impact he's had on the culture.
100%.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
And like you said, a lot of the young rappers now today, I'm not saying nobody can mimic Wayne. Let's say that Wayne is one of his kind, but a lot of people try to pull certain things from him. Whether, like you said, it's the hairstyle, it's like their sound. They try to sound like him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You could tell his influence.
Bro, all that auto-tune rap stuff is a descendant that came from Wayne. Like, you know, when he started doing that in the early stage, even in the beginning when he first started doing it, I was like, man, I don't know about this. But he knew more than us. He knew, he was always ahead. He always did what he wanted to do. And I think that all these artists kind of have, you know, they descended from that tree, kind of like where you hear the auto-tune and a lot of other things. So from dressing, man, he just influenced the culture. And then, you know, put Drake and Nicki in a position to where they was able to do their thing and make the most out of it. So you got to look at that. Everybody that Nicki and Drake influences also stems from that tree, which is, you know,
true.
And I'm glad you brought that up. You bring up, you know, Nicki and Drake, and they were kind of part of the original Young Money team. And you got people now that look at, some people think Drake's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's so big that some people,
no doubt.
And people look at Nicki as like the one, not just one of the greatest women rappers, one of the greatest rappers, period, of all time.
I got her top 10 because you got to look at what she meant and like the record she broke. And people forget at times how Nicki was rapping in the beginning when she came out. I'm talking about whether female or not, she was holding her own on records with Kanye, with Jay. Go listen to Monster.
Monster? I'm about to say Monster? Yeah. She went last on Monster, Allen. You know what that means. You got Rick Ross, you got Hov, you got Kanye. Nicki went last.
And probably he don't remember that verse like the most. Like she slid, man. She slid. So, and Drake, Drake is definitely one of the GOATs. Like Drake is undeniable. What I like every time I've been around Drake though, and been around Tune, the respect he shows Tune, like he has the utmost respect, and he treats him with a reverence. Like, you know what I'm saying? That he knows what it is. But you know, you can't Drake is the GOAT as well. Like, you know, so I think on pace to be the Prince or Michael Jackson of this generation. Like, you know, it's going even beyond rap now.
His run has been so long. And the reason I bring that up is like you said, Wayne has been bigger than just his own individual songs. And now you guys are kind of making like the new version, so to speak, of Young Money. I want to ask you this, like, just being, you know, being a hungry young artist, do you look at that as like motivation of like how big you could possibly be? Do you feel like it's added pressure because of how successful that original Young Money team was? Because you gotta think it was Nicki, it was Drake, but Tiger had some hits every other summer. I feel like
Tiger deserves to be in there. Tiger, no doubt, he's a superstar, man. Like, you know, it's just when you got Drake and Nicki who are, you know, but Tiger did his thing.
Bro, Tiger every summer, or at least every other summer, he got a banger. I'm telling you, every summer.
Females love it. Tiger's Tiger. You know what I mean?
Rack City, bitch. Right.
I do look at that. Like, I'm humbled to be a part of that legacy. And me and all my colleagues, you know, the new artists that they sign, like, we excited and we feel like, of course, there is big shoes to fill. And at first, you could look at it as added pressure. They're like, oh, who this dude is? Oh, they about to try to make a new Drake or that. But then I realized you can't do that. You got to focus on being you, be the best you could be. I don't think no success will ever come without pressure or like criticism. Is gonna happen. I like he was talking, I still deal with it sometimes. Like nobody ain't perfect as much as they want to say anything hard and don't think about stuff. Yeah, your mind sometimes going in, but you got to shake that off. And I feel with me bringing in Spanish, it could give me my own lane. Like, I'm doing English and Spanish.
Hell yeah.
Originally, like, okay, this is what Allan brings to the Young Money legacy. And if I can have it my way, I will be one of the first artists to bring that to Latin America and put us in the forefront. That's one of my goals. You feel me?
Damn, that's hard.
I love that.
I love that.
For sure. He kind of finding his own little lanes. So
that's what it is. I'm trying to find like, all right, well, how could I? Because, I could just make a whole project in English. I could just make one all in Spanish. But I think that what makes me the most different is my ability to switch them and be fluid the way I do it.
Yeah.
And every day I'm still figuring out more ways to make it more fluid, but I think that's my biggest blessing. And I think it's also been my skill that time because I'll tend to spread myself thin. And they're like, oh, it's hard to establish a fan base when you're all over the place. But Wayne always been a person like, bro, do what you do. He tells everybody that, like, be you. He always say, just be you. And then it's all about timing and certain things that line up. And yeah, I'm getting ready to have a busy year this year. I just want to stay focused, drop a lot more content than I did the first year. The first year was a big learning experience for me, kind of seeing everything's moving, seeing when I could drop things, just learning the business, being around it. Now I think I'll be able to, drop a lot more music and get focused, just knowing how to go about it, the marketing and things. So, I was focused, sitting back, learning. So now I'm poised to make my run.
Sure, man. And we excited to see it, man. And tell me if I'm wrong, and I don't know how much you could tell us, but you guys are working on a Young Money like compilation album, right? Like all you guys gonna be on. Is there any information you can give us with that, like time frame or anything you can give us?
Right now, it's all touring Carter 6, man. That's what it's all about. But we are working on that, and it's amazing songs. But yeah, I don't know, man. I gotta, Tune make all the decisions on that, man.
Facts.
So we just going with it. But we got some great songs on there. A lot of the artists got really good music that's about to come. You know what I'm saying?
Your homegirl Mellow Racks, we've been trying to get her on the porch. We got to get her on here at some point. We might need you to let her tap her. Next time you see her, let her know the porch. Been trying to get in touch with her.
I can do it. Thought about it.
We fans of Mellow, man. I like her style. I like her delivery. Dope. She's another one who we're fans of as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And she does a lot of things that I think that the people don't know off camera. Like, I done been around her. I've seen her do so much real things for people, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if a lot of people know that she's Haitian as well and done a lot of things for Haiti, helped a lot of people out. So she's young and talented and coming into her own right now too. I know she primed to have a big year as well.
Yeah, man, for sure.
And I definitely make that happen for y'all too. I'll holler at her.
I appreciate I appreciate you, man. The whole Young Money, man. Bolo, I've been a fan of Cash Money, Young Money. I'm talking big timers, hot boys. Like since I was a little kid, like you know what I mean. So I'm always support the entire team forever. I think Drizzy P, he's a youngin' on the team. He got bars. So shout out to all y'all, man.
Free Lil Brother too. He's one of the ones that got signed. That he's in jail right now, but he'll be getting out in probably 12 to 16 months. He a youngster, but free Lil Brother. So he's gonna be out there too. Signed in that.
Say his name one more time.
Lil Brother, LUHBRUDDA. Lil Brother, Drizzy P, Mellow Rex. We got KK.
Come on, fam. Y'all heard what he said, man. If y'all ain't tapped in, yeah, you better tap in early. Don't wait until a year from now when my guy Allan is the biggest artist in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, hop on now. I'm telling you, he got some work coming, man.
Straight up, yo. Like that. That's how we coming, man. Y'all can check me out on Instagram, YouTube. I got like some little freestyle videos up. I put up different things so you can get familiar with my sound from the Spanish to the English, and a lot more shit coming. Like, I wish I could have way more stuff to be out, but it's coming now.
Hey,
let's get it.
All in time, man. So now we excited, man, and we gonna go to our final segment here before we let you go. This is more of our quick hitters. There's a couple questions, man, that we just want to pick your brain with, and then we're gonna let you out of here. So
let's go.
I'm gonna go first. Gotta ask you this. Who are your top 5 greatest rappers of all time? No order, no order. This your top 5, your top 5 favorite. I'll say favorite.
All right, Wayne, Drake. See, this third dude, he aggravate the hell out of me sometimes, and I'm like, man, this dude off the wall, but can't nobody deny his genius, and that's Kanye West.
Ooh,
like,
talk to him. Talk
Kanye
to
West,
him.
There's never been a person that's like, man, he does so much things that's like beautiful. Then he'll have things where you might disagree with, but I think that he's not afraid to push the envelope and be unapologetically himself. Sometimes with Kanye, it'll take time for you to understand the message. And it'll be like he might say it the wrong way, but then when you look back, like, hold up, man. So that's besides his rapping ability. That's just as a person, I think that he has a lot to give to the, of course he's made some mistakes and maybe spoken some things the way he shouldn't have, but he's got a lot to give to this society. He's gonna be one of the most influential people. But as a rapper, he's in my top 5. Wayne, Drake, Kanye. I'll probably go Jay and Pac.
What's a strong 5, Bolo?
That's a real strong 5.
I'm a big fan of Nas when I was younger, and Nas like when he was still mad at like these projects were so great, but I felt like the end of his career, because like I personally felt Nas got with Jay when they had their little dispute, and I was Nas, even though Jay was great, but Jay just maintained consistently. He dropped a lot more projects towards the end that I felt. Even though Nas did, I just probably listened to him as much as Jay. So I got to put Jay in there. Wayne, Drake, Kanye, Jay, and Pac. I feel a lot of Pac's music still timeless. You hear it, you hear the message, the instrument.
Oh, easy.
His voice, his delivery, the things he was saying. I mean, dude was way ahead of his time. He was talking about stuff in the 90s that everybody's talking about now, conspiracy theories and this and that, things that he'd been talking about. So dude was ahead of his time. That's my 5.
And people forget how young he was talking about
young.
That. I mean, he was early 20s.
Early 20s, talking about real stuff, influencing the culture, rapping. He was just a talented dude. Like some people make the argument that Pac could have been. I mean, people sleep on how great of an actor he was gonna be as well. He was.
He was cooking. He was in some good ass movies.
Yeah, Pac, man.
Poetic Justice, Juice, like there's some classics.
Yeah. Classics. He was only gonna continue. You feel me? So, shout out Pac. Rest in peace to one of the greatest.
Strong top 5, Allan. I love it.
Strong
you saw,
but
my boy Bolo was getting hyped when you said Kanye.
I'm Kanye.
He's from Chicago. We didn't tell you that. So Bolo loves, big Kanye guy. So I'm not mad about that at all. Yes.
I mean, he's an undeniable talent. Whether you love Kanye or hate him, if you saying
can't deny it,
talented, then you a liar.
Yeah,
it's undeniable.
Facts. Okay. So this kind of goes into our next questions. One artist in the industry who you have to do a song with and why?
Oh, Burna Boy. I'm a huge.
Okay.
I've been on him before he started blowing up. I'm talking about he had a song back in the day called Hallelujah. I was like, this dude's crazy. He reminds me of myself in a sense, though. I feel like I would love to achieve the things that he does with mixing the African culture with English. I would kind of want to be able to do that with my Spanish and English, and it still be accepted by everybody in commercial. He's one person to achieve that. And it took him time. He had to master his craft. And he an artist I definitely look up to, and I think is dope as hell. One of my favorite artists. So Burna Boy.
Shout out to Burna Boy, man. I love
That's
it.
That's cold.
That entire culture been killing it right now.
Yeah, I would love to get Spanish for him doing his thing on it and one of them crazy beats, Afro beats, so it'd be crazy. It's gonna happen. Remember, I said it right here.
Hey, come on, put your hand out, Bolo. Hey, when you come to the porch, when you speak it and you put it into existence, put it in the air. It happens. We didn't have people come on here and say they're gonna be undisputed champion, and a year later it happens. So hey, it's gonna happen, man. And you said it on the porch first.
Get it.
Got a big fight this weekend too.
Ooh, we sure do. My God,
I'm going. I want to go to Vegas for it. I want to go to Vegas. I'm going with Tank, but it's gonna be a close one. Ron Garcia can upset him.
It can go either way. If I had to make a prediction, I think Tank in the later rounds.
Yeah,
but I think. I mean, it could go either way because it's so much unknown. Like, how good is
that's a lot of power.
Like, we don't know. Like,
Tank got to stay locked in because, like, if he start playing around, Ryan hands is quick in that.
But I think he know that though.
I
think he know that. But everybody can throw a punch, but everybody can't take a punch.
That's it.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying.
Not a factor. But you said something too important. Tank is aware of that because I saw, when you watch his interviews and stuff, he knows the dude's fast. He knows he can punch. on defense more this camp. So, all these dudes go and talk and they stuff and bravado to sell the fight, but they don't get to this point without being smart as well.
Yeah.
They know it.
That's true.
Best trainers, they're gonna be both well prepared for this fight. So,
yeah, 1,000%, man. I can't wait to see it. Me and my homie gonna order the fight, get a little food, go on, a couple of drinks. We gonna do the whole thing.
Hey,
So
it's about to be a good time.
I'm excited to see that. So, two more questions for you. We're gonna let you out. So, this next one, I'm putting some pressure on you, Allan. It might be hard. It's gonna be tough. What is the hardest Lil Wayne verse that comes to your mind, just off the top of the head? He done said a lot of shit, Allan. A lot of legendary shit.
Survive is kill if the elements don't murder you. The
riders will for real. So hard to the fullest, get involved in it.
But hold up, I'm gonna say one thing, and I was there when he recorded this one. It might be a slept-on verse, and it's one of the new ones. Go check out West Side Gun, the Bash Money. The verse on Wayne comes on there. Ridiculous verse, man.
He snapping on there?
He snapped.
I'm tuning in now.
Him and West Side, Gun. So check that one out. But Birdman JR, Murder Cap, that's one of mine. And then the sky, most likely I'm gonna ride. That's another. It's so many. We'll be here all day going on Wayne versus.
So man, he done said so much shit, man. It's crazy. Legendary. And it's funny, man. Not to sidebar the entire episode, because this can go. We can talk about this for a whole hour. It's been. I don't know if you saw it, but the last few weeks, somebody brought up the topic of if 50 Cent and Lil Wayne got in a versus battle, who would win? And listen, I love 50 Cent. Like, during his prime, like, that was my guy. Like, I'm still a big fan of everything he's doing. And I get in verses, it's only 20 songs versus 20 songs. So we're not arguing who's the greatest. We know who Wayne is. But 20 versus 20, anything can really happen. So people been like going crazy, like all in our comments and arguing about, who would win. I just think, man, like, Wayne could do 20 mixtape songs. He could do 20 album songs, 20 feature songs. He can slice that however way you want. I don't know 20 people who can really beat Wayne in the verses. People can give him a run for his money because it's 20 songs. But this beat him, I don't know.
It might have to be somebody like Kanye or somebody to go up against Wayne or Drake himself. But I think that, obviously I'm biased. I think that Wayne is the greatest. I think Wayne would beat 50. But the point is what you said, these lists are more on the curation opposed to these person's run. Like, we seen it with Dipset and the Locks. Dipset got more commercial success than the Locks towards the, in the early 2000s and all that. But the Locks still won the verses because Jadakiss and them stage presence, the way they curated. So that's as important as the hits. But Wayne ready. Wayne thinks of that stuff too, so he'll be ready, and I think he'll beat anybody.
Wayne can go all the way. The block is.
It's so long of a bag, like, especially when people are doing songs that they've been featured on. If that's allowed, feature songs, come on, man. Like, it's not even. This dude was making. Y'all know it.
Right? No, his bag too long. Like, because I was trying to think, like, what 20 songs would he pick? I even did like a mock-up list of the 20.
That's the hardest part for Wayne right there to me, that he's so great. How do you even curate that into 20 songs? How?
Bro, people's in the comments, man, who put this list together? Y'all ain't put Wayne's best 20. I'm like, what's his best 20? I don't even know what that means. I can't pick 20. Like, what do you...
It's so vast. Even when he was a kid, he had great music. The guy don't curse, but in this verse, man, the world, I lost my daughter. He had many songs, like, from a kid to right now. So he just was on God Did, one of the biggest songs of the year. So I'm talking about, you go from 97, 98 to 2022, he's still on one of the biggest songs of the year.
Man.
So, he'll be like, oh, you biased. No, I'm not, man. I'll bring out the facts. From music to hits to cultural influence, it's undeniable.
Great sex is safe sex. You better wear latex, because you don't want that latex that I think I'm latex. I'm done talking. Go ahead, Bolo.
He gonna say that line. This is Lil Wayne head. Wayne head.
You play me? Bolo silly, man.
Okay, so last question, bro. We got to hit you with this one. We hit all of our guests with this question before we get them out of here. Fill in the simple, fill in the blank. In 5 years, Allan will be blank.
Oh, in 5 years, Allan will be. That's a good question, man. I want to be in a position. In 5 years, I want to have peace of mind. and be able to stand and live off of my artistry and be able to inspire and help others. Be able to help. My goals is to do things in my communities here in Louisiana, and then also go back to Honduras. And I want to be able to do things. And I think 5 years is enough time to do that. You know, basically have a presence. Like, in 5 years, I want to be more than just a dude that signed to Young Money. I want to be looked at the way that Tiger, Drake, and them was. So that's my goal. And it ain't about fame. I never really cared about that. It's because society obligates you that you gotta survive. You gotta make money. Well, why not try to make it doing something you love and that you're passionate about? I would do music if I was broke or had millions. So I could do this music and then make it. So by doing that, you got to inspire others. You got to people believe in what you're doing, believe in you as a person. So, yeah, man, in 5 years, I would just want to be able to stand on my own as an artist and be able to, you know, one day I'm going on this tour right now. Like, and I got artists that I'm bringing the same opportunities that Wayne's giving to me. I could go back and give it to some other younger artists that's trying to do similar things.
I love it. There we have it.
That's beautiful, man. I love
it. There we have it.
One of my favorite answers of that question, Bolo. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? I love that, man. And yeah, you just keep doing your thing, keep inspiring, keep living life the right way, keep God first, keep working, man. I'm a believer in you. I know Bolo's a believer in you, and the Porch
100%.
family is a believer in you. Before we let you go, is there anything you want to promote or let the people know where they can find you on social media? Yeah. Obviously, you're on tour right now. Anything you want to just promote right now, this is your time to just do that.
Well, we going on tour right now, April 24th. Y'all catch me in Birmingham, Alabama. We going to be all Houston, Dallas, the Austin. We going to LA. We everywhere. Just follow me on Instagram at Allan Cubas, Allan Cubas, ALLAN. A lot of people think it's ALLEN. It's AN. So ALLAN, Allan Cubas or Cubas, CUBAS. Same thing on YouTube. Go check out my stuff on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I got content on YouTube. I got the most recent song I probably have on there is called Sativa. It's a Spanglish song I have on there. I got the song with Wayne Cameras, a song that me and Wayne put out. So just follow me on my social media, man, and look out, man. I'll be dropping a lot of content, and appreciate all the love to anybody that's watching or want to get to know more of me, man. Follow the journey. I appreciate y'all. You know, without the people that supporting a dream, you know, a dream ain't really nothing without the support. You know, that's what takes it to the next level. Appreciate that, and you know, just thank God, thank y'all for the opportunity, man, to tell my story a little bit. And look forward to seeing y'all again down the line, man. We got a link or get in the studio. Shit, I got on the tuck, man. Y'all gonna see.
Oh, I don't say, hey, we'll put the studio now. Don't hey,
bro, I ain't tripping. Yeah,
come on,
we got a hoop too. I'm trying to see if I can move y'all feet, man. We gotta see.
Oh yeah, you know we used to ball. Look, we play football, so look, we ain't too far removed. We still,
you see the jersey behind me? Don't. Ain't number the quick flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man. No, I love it.
Absolutely.
No, it's been a pleasure getting to know your story. We definitely gonna link up in person. You know what I mean? You know, when you get your own tour, we might do a live porch setup to lead the show, and then we bring you. I don't know. I got my ideas are flowing, so we'll talk. We'll worry about that down the road. But definitely, man, gonna support you. Keep grinding, and yeah, it's been an honor, my guy.
Absolutely.
I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you. This is the Porch Podcast. Hey, if you don't get your tickets right now, get your tickets and stop playing, man. The greatest show on earth is out and about right now, traveling the country, so you don't want to miss it. Catch us on YouTube, catch us on Spotify, catch us on Apple Music, all of your listening platforms. We here. All right, shout out to our dog, Allan Cubas. This is the Porch Podcast. And just remember, the best you
is the best you, and we out. Peace.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we needed. Now we undefeated. If we link, no it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free, but now it costs to see me. When you see me, you ain't gotta greet me. Just don't plot to sneak me, I'ma see it. I'ma stop and watch you lose and get defeated. What do we bleed? Came from the jungle, we humble but hungry and hunting to feed. People don't want us to leave, they love us and rush to the bus when we run in the streets, thinking we stunning the sea. We came from nothing to something, now up in the lead. Now we ain't coming in peace, hunting for blood and to crush everyone in the league. We got a reason, we put in work every day of the week, every month, every season. So many schemes, had to go hard for the team. We gave our all and succeeded, came from the deep end. Warming up pots, cooking ramen at times, that was all we was eating. Now we be feasting, 5-star restaurants every week. Whole team dripped in cloth and it's seamless. They looking hard when we step on the scene. Call us outcasts, we so fresh and so clean. Ain't about cash, please don't ask for a meeting. Just hit the stoop, got the spaz on the beat. Nah, it ain't rude if you flash for the heat. Live for the day, cause the past can't determine the future or where you gon' actually be. Keep staying present, our presence a blessing. It's all that we have and we actually need. I'm taking action with passion, detaching the ones who keep acting attached to leech. I am no pastor, but actually preaching. Look up these lyrics and actually read them. That was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we need.